Hi everyone, welcome. So, like I said on Friday, I did make some changes to the way I'm trading the scalping strategy. I have switched from using the 9 moving average and price action, that is, price structure, support and resistance areas. I have switched that as the determinant for direction for buyers. I have switched that with the volume profile. So that is what I'm using now. I decided to start to test it out from today to see how well it will work. And today's one was all right, but today is just one day, right? It's nothing in comparison to the sample space we need before we start to feel certain that we have something useful. But so far so good. That is the changes I've made. I get on the chart and I look at where price has been in relation to the low volume node on the volume profile. So if price has been to one low volume node, one extreme of the low volume node, my bias becomes that price will attempt to reverse and either go back to the high volume nodes or push further towards the other extreme of the volume profile, towards the opposite volume node, the opposite low volume nodes. So the low volume nodes on the other end of the volume profile spectrum. I hope all that makes sense. But so once it gets to one extreme, I'm looking for price to move in the opposite direction, and so that becomes the direction that I'm scalping in. So that's what I did today, and that's all of it. So I'll just go through the trades. I took a few trades today. I had to wait for one trade that took a moment to get out of break even. So like I also described on Friday, I waited for price to go to a low volume node before I added to the position today to get out at break even, as opposed to what I do before, where I just enter. If a candle closes against me, I just wait for that candle's high, for the candle's high in a downtrend or the candle's low in an uptrend for it to be broken, and then I add another position. I've switched that also. Instead of adding that way, I now wait for price to keep going further and further against me. When it gets to a low volume node, I add another position there and wait for it to reverse, and then I get out at break even, for both positions. So that's what I did today, and I'll quickly go through those trades, and that will be it. So I got my first trade today. I think this was after 15:00, should be around 15:08 or something. I got a buy because price had been to the bottom part of the volume profile, the low volume node at the bottom part. So I was looking for buys, right? So I got price moving below the low of this bull candle. So I bought there and I got my first win of my first trade. It was important to me since I was using the volume profile, to expand the chart today, so I could see what was happening, to properly choose my bias. Make sure also that the volume profile was getting enough information from the charts, from the candles, to you know draw out the profile, so it has enough information to determine how the volume is distributed. So I got a trade here too. I got a buy trade. I think this one I bought off the close of this candle, strong close, but I didn't get an early enough entry. If not, this would have been a winning trade. But I think it turned out to be a break even. The candle after my entry closed against me, I think. So I had to exit at break even once I had the opportunity to. So the second trade was a break even trade. Kept looking for opportunities. I got price moving below this doji candle, this bull candle that's a doji. Got price moving below it, and I bought that low. I think I got a win on this one too. Yes, I did. This was also a win. So second win for the day. Remember, I'm looking to just get 2% on the day. Just grow the account by 2% and I'm done. So I got another move below this bull candle's low at this resistance area. It closed against me. It closed against me by a very tiny margin. So I closed out once I had the opportunity to. That candle, however, closed as a bull candle with a very small body. This is usually a sign that price is not ready to go up, immediately. But I took the buy anyway when price went below that candle's low. I added another trade there, or rather entered another trade there, and this was the one that got me stuck for a moment, for a couple minutes. I had to hold, waiting for price to get down to the bottom of the volume profile and touch, get around the low volume node areas, and then see a confirmation so I can, enter another buy position. But something I did today that I think was too aggressive was, while I added the second position, when price eventually got down and I added the second position, you'll see this a couple minutes later into the video. When I added the second position and was waiting for the break even to happen, I kept taking trades. So I held those two there and I kept taking trades as though that had not happened. Now I think that is too aggressive, and the reason is, it worked out today, but why I think it's aggressive and too aggressive is that just the way the first trade went against me and I had to wait for an opportunity to enter looking for a break even, there is a potential that the new trades I'm taking, the same thing could happen, in those trades, and then there's now the need for me to do the same thing for those other trades, which now gets me in a position where I have 4 trades open, looking to get out at a break even for all of them. And as far as portfolio management, that's not really a good position you want to put yourself in, because that now reduces the room that the market has to move against you before it reverses, if it does reverse. So I don't think that's a behavior I would want to repeat moving forward. I think I was just worried about the fact that I may wait so long, and I may need to wait till the end of the session, and I won't take any other trades. I think that was why I got that aggressive, but it's not advisable, and I probably will not repeat that same behavior moving forward. But yes, I held this trade and waited and waited. Price eventually came down. Gave me the opportunity to add to this first trade that went against me, giving me the opportunity to get out of it at a break even. And then I also added another trade. So this is where I started trading as though I wasn't looking for a break even for the other trades. This candle was a strong close bull candle, so I bought that candle. Would have bought the close, but since price had already moved down, I just got an earlier entry, and my bias was still a buy because price did not move up to the top end of the volume profile. So to me, it wasn't at a place where it had not moved to a place where it had a lot of sell sentiment behind it. The sentiment was still a buy sentiment. So I was still looking for buys as such. So I entered two trades here. Moved the take profits on the other ones to the middle for a break even, and then I got a win on the extra trade that I got into. That I kept trading as though everything was okay, everything was back to ground zero. I got a win on that trade, making it my third win for the day. So at this point I was just looking for one more win and then a move up for a break even to call it a day. And I think I did get an opportunity to get into another trade somewhere around here. So I got price moving below the low of this hammer candle, or should I call it a pin bar, right? I got price move below this pin bar candle, and I bought that low there. This gave me my fourth win and last win for the day. So at this point, I was pretty much done trading. As far as opening new trades, I was done. I was just waiting for price to come up and take out these two trades I was holding, take them out at break even, and after a couple minutes, think about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, between 5 to 10 minutes or so. Price did rally up and took out both trades for a break even, leaving me at I think about $213 also, $213 or so, something around that figure for the day. So 2% done, and so I called it a day. Thank you guys for joining me on today's episode, and I'll see you tomorrow.